Oh, hello and welcome, FPL managers, and welcome to Corner Football Fantasy. And of course, we are back for the Zonal Weakness, powered by Fantasy Football Scout. And tonight, I have FPL Wrangler joining me for game week 18 and 19 because the two game weeks are in quick succession. So apparently, we don't have too much time to do so. So that's why we are going to do the two game weeks together. And what we have thought is it's better that, we combine it with the data of game week 17 so that we are able to at least cover up and, give you at least not perhaps the most accurate data, but or the accurate reading, but at least we can give you something closer. But before we get into all that nitty gritty and all the zonal stuff, welcome FPL Wrangler, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Nadim. Thanks for having me on again. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't know. I had a very bizarre game week, to be honest. Bizarre game week, and I just don't know. I took Raul Jimenez as a sort of a punt, thinking with his two upcoming fixtures, I thought this would be a good opportunity. He seems to be back in form. Yeah, only for him to get a red card and then get a 3 match suspension, which is great. Yeah. So yeah, that kind of destroyed. And then I had Salah, no blank, Son blank, captain was Salah. I mean Salah, so blank again. Haaland no show. Others did well, but yeah, not enough to get a green arrow. Yeah. How about you?
It was okay for me. I mean, the game week is still on, right? Because FPL didn't
Yeah.
give us any information about that Bournemouth versus Luton game. It was okay again. I mean, I didn't have Watkins. That's the only player that I missed. Otherwise, I got Solanke for Haaland, so that point is still hanging over there, right? Otherwise, I mean, I had Palmer and all my defenders got clean sheet. So it was a good game week, I would say, but except Watkins. So yeah, and I had
Mm,
Darwin, so you can understand how it was going to look out.
okay.
So
Okay. My sympathy and my condolences, to be honest, in that case. Yeah. If you have Darwin. Yeah. I had Darwin too, by the way. And from Darwin, I went to Jimenez. So yeah, my second striker, bad luck continues. Yeah. I haven't got a single goal from a second striker yet throughout the season. So that's something quite telling, I would say. Yeah. But anyway, let's get to the zonal. And of course, audience, this is the zonal for game week 18 and 19. As we mentioned at the beginning, we are combining this pod to cover up 2 game weeks to ensure, because of the quick turnaround, to ensure that at least you have some sort of an accurate reading, although not fully accurate, but at least you get a clear understanding based on the game week 17's data, because by the time the game week 18's data is there, game week 19 would have already started. So it would not be possible for us within that quick turnaround or within the short space to actually do the zonal. So yeah, and of course it's a festive season, so that's another reason as to why we thought it would be good to combine it. Yeah, but before we get into that, please do give us a follow, like, and a subscribe. If you haven't been following us on Twitter, please do so, because that's where we do a zonal thread. And if you haven't been liking on our Facebook, because that's where we share most of the information. But of course, you need to subscribe in order to get all the 20 teams' zonal data in terms of a short video that we're doing. And this is the current video. So, yeah, please do give us all the support, and we would sincerely appreciate any support that is coming from you. So let's get in straight. No, I forgot something. Sorry. The membership. Yeah, so all the data that you see are from the Fantasy Football Scout members area. If you are interested in the membership, please click on the link below in the description section, and you'd get a 20% discount, and you would get access to all the data, all the articles, and fantastic information, all the data that you need to analyze, including the zonal data. And I think it would be worth an investment. So please do get sign up now for Fantasy Football Scout. Right. So, so this is the team that or this is the sorry, these are the players that we had actually kind of suggested as a transfer back in game week 14, and of course the two players are Mbomo and Palmer. So, what do you think about those two transfer suggestions that we made back in game week 14, Phil Wrangler?
absolutely spot on. So I think I was probably on that port whenever that you suggested the Mbumo, one around in game week 14, and it was really unfortunate that he got injured, right? Otherwise, the
Yeah,
fixture, Sheffield, even the Villa fixture was like could match up attackingly as well, right? And that was a home game. And also, even after game week 18, they have very good fixture run. Like, they have Wolves at home, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest. So it was really unlucky that Mbumo got injured. So I think the decision or the suggestion was really spot on. It's just like it was unfortunate that he got injured. Otherwise, it was really good. Palmer, I mean, he's the star boy now, right? Everybody knows about him, and
yeah, mm,
definitely, again, whatever suggestion you made, he just clicked a lot, and he already got 8 and 14, and not from penalty, by the way, from open play,
yeah,
right? So people were
yeah,
saying that that he's a penalty merchant, but his underlying actually was there too. And we just saw that in the last game week. So yeah, definitely both of those. Great shout, and absolutely you feel good whenever you see that those players really click, right? The community also got help out of it. So yeah.
yeah. Well, glad, but unfortunate that Mbomo had to go and face an injury or suffer an injury. So that kind of affected his points per match. But yeah, overall, I think it was still looking good. At least the first two game weeks definitely looked very good. And I think I had taken both the players as transfer options. But anyway, let's go to game week 18 straight away. And here's the table, the first table for game week 18. What stands out?
So let's just hit only those players or teams which are more of interest, right? So first one is Villa versus Sheffield, right? So that's can be the best matchup you can think of in terms of, like, like attack. And as you can see, like, some of the names are popping up in the first row, like, say in the left flank, they're very vulnerable. So Diaby and Bailey, like, these names are there, but again, as you can see, there are two names, right? So basically, there are some rotations there, right? Although both might show up, one way or another. But I think it's a very good shout. And Watkins, I mean, although based in the zonal matchup, its center is number 9 for Sheffield, but again, Watkins, I think if you have to have one transfer, and if you don't have Watkins, I would just suggest, get Watkins. He's a captaincy materials in this game week. So that's one thing. And then I think if you see all the whites for Luton's, right? So that's a very good matchup for Newcastle. So that's where, the right flank, right? Luton is number 1, or the most vulnerable, right, team in the right flank, and that's where Gordon, or Livramento comes, and especially like Gordon, right? So it's unfortunate that he got a knock yesterday in the Carabao Cup. So we will not get any information, maybe, before the deadline, and Eddie Howe even don't provide any information anyways, right? So either you have to decide whether you want to get him out, or you just roll the dice with him and expect that he's going to play, because uh, Newcastle have a good fixture in the next game week as well, in game week 19, right? So, but again, the zonal is there, so I think the FPL managers need to think about it if they want to get rid of Gordon, before they do that. And then Wilson, I think Isak didn't was not even in the squad in the Carabao Cup, so I think Wilson should be safe, or probably the experience wise. So again, Wilson have a very good matchup as well in the center. So overall, I think Newcastle boys should have good or favorable matchup in this game week. However, it's away to Luton, so basically Newcastle at home and and away are a little bit different. At home they are beast, but in away, Luton in home are not bad either. So um, attackingly good, but defensively, I don't know if there is anything. So next, Palmer, the star boy. You already talked about him. There is nothing to talk about much. I think, again, Wolves are very vulnerable in the left zone, or in the left flank. So Palmer or Starling, I think Starling is on. I think both of them are on 4 yellows. I think, but still, Palmer is a good shout. He's on penalties, and I think even if Nkunku comes back, I think Palmer should keep his place. So um,
Yeah.
and next what Pedro Porro, we should definitely touch on him. So Spurs defense has been leaky, but again, we talked about him before in this pod as well. That Poro is mainly their attacker, right? He's a good passer of the ball. He is very creative, and that's why actually he goes up front, which creates more space for opponents, to exploit wherever he plays. But again, his attacking return is there, and he always creates lots of chances. And if one of them is converted, he'll be on bonuses very quickly. And on top of that, if he gets a clean sheet, it's gonna be like 12 to 15 pointer. So um, I think Poro is a good shout, and Kulusevski as well. I mean, I think if you want to sell Gordon, say, then Kulusevski or even Richarlison, are good shout, a good replacement. Then I think one team is basically West Ham. Looks like they have a very good matchup versus Man
I thought you
United.
were going to say I thought you were going to say Manchester United. There's one team.
I wish I could tell that, but I mean, again, they did decent yeah, versus Liverpool, right? Everybody thought that
Yeah,
Liverpool is gonna
yeah,
just
they did. Yeah,
kind of wipe us out. But again, it was a good defensive performance. We didn't have Bruno Fernandes, and we had a lot of other injuries. But again, we survived, right? So I
yeah.
think again, zonal wise, Bowen. I think you guys suggested Bowen long time back, and his fixture has been there. He's performing, and his fixture is even long term is also good. So I think Bowen is a good shout. Kudus is good shout for very short term because he's gonna be going to the AFCON from game week 21. So if anyone get Kudus, you have to keep in mind that you have to change him soon. Otherwise, I don't think anyone to talk about in this slide. You want to add anything here?
No, nothing much really. I think we more or less covered. So let's go quickly to the next slide for Gimmick 18, and then we have the team of the week, and then we'll discuss the Gimmick
Yeah.
19 as well. Yeah,
Here, I just wanted to talk one team, that's Fulham. Okay, and I'm really, I mean, I feel sorry for you that you got Raul Jimenez because of this Sonal fixture was there, but he got red card. But that actually created an opportunity for Muniz, right? And as you can
yeah.
see, Burnley has some vulnerabilities in terms of head and also in the right flank. So I think Fulham boys could be a good shout. IOB, I think IOB also is going to AFCON. So
Mm,
whoever you got, Muniz or IOB, is going to be short term because again, Raul Jimenez is going to come back after his suspension, right? But Fulham's
yep.
next two fixtures are very good. We'll see in game week 19 as well. So if you get them, if you want to get some differential, those are your guys, and you can get points, or I mean, it's expected that you get points from them in game week and 18 and 19 and just move on. Okay, so that's one team I would like to just mention here.
Okay. Okay. So let's quickly then go and discuss the zonal team of the week for Gimmick 18. So what stands out here?
We talked about Watkins, Wilson. We touched Gordon. Adingra is there. Again, I think Brighton is playing versus Palace in this game week.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, Brighton is not really very functional attackingly that we saw before, right? But if you have Adingra, just hold. But I don't think he's a buy. But again, zonal wise, yeah, it's a good matchup for Brighton. Palmer we talked, Kudus we talked, Kulusevski we touched. Moreno is there, so it's gonna be a rotation between Moreno and Lucadin. So Moreno was injured, and that's when Lucadin played really good, and now Moreno is coming back. So we have to still see, right, how is it gonna be. So again, if you have any of them, hold, but I don't. I would not suggest anyone to buy right now, although the matchup is there. Pedro Porro we touched, and Trippier is another player. We didn't talk much, but again, we talked about Newcastle as a whole, right? Next two fixtures, especially, they're playing Luton and Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest actually at home. And it's a good matchup. And I think if you want to get one transfer, like defensively, Trippier could be another shout too. And I think if you, especially if you sell Holland, you might have a lot of money floating around. So a lot of people are thinking to get Trippier now and then moving on to Trent later. But you make your call. But Trippier has a good zonal matchup in this game week, and also probably next game week too.
Okay, so let's go into move into game week 19 now, and this is the table. So yeah, again, what stands out?
Um, I think City, because in game week 18 we didn't have City, or we're not gonna have City because they are having
Mm,
blank, right? But
yeah,
if Haaland comes back, I think that's gonna be interesting one for the whole FPL community. But again, Everton actually is, I think, away to Everton. So Everton has been good, you know, but it's still they have vulnerability in their left flank. So either Bernardo Silva or Foden could be a good shout, and also Haaland is Haaland. So if Haaland comes back, and if you have enough money to again bring him back, I think you can bring him back in 19. Otherwise, a lot of people are thinking to sell Salah in 20 and get Haaland back in 20. But again, in 19 also it's fine if you want to bring him back. Jesus, I would like to mention here the next Arsenal. So that's another player. So I think if you see recently Arsenal's attack is becoming more functional. That's mostly like Jesus came back, Martinelli is there, Odegaard came back, and Kai Havertz actually also is kind of playing a Saka role recently. His non-penalty XGI also is good. So overall, actually Jesus makes the team good, and his underlying is good too, and he has a good zonal matchup as well in game week 19. So um, right now he's going a little bit under the radar, but I don't think he won't be soon, especially if you spend money. If you sell Salah, you might have a lot of money. So I think as a third striker, or even second, if you don't have Watkins, I think Jesus is a very good shout. And if you want to be on the on the curve beforehand, you can give it Jesus even now. Palmer, we already touched. There is nothing to talk about here. Darwin, we don't want to talk about. Just skip Darwin
yeah,
for now. And then again, Watkins, right? Watkins just shows, and again, it's because of Man United's vulnerability, right? So Watkins is a great buy for a long term. Actually, he could be even season peak unless he gets injured or there is blank game week things come. But again, he really showed that the Villa in general actually showed that how good they can be, and you just get there like number 9 basically, right, from that team, because they are just scoring for fun, right?
yeah,
And then we already touched Trippier before, right, in the previous
yeah,
game week, so nothing stands out here anymore, I guess.
yeah. So
We
let's
should
go to
probably just if you go back, one probably
yeah,
should talk
yeah,
about we should probably talk about Trent as well. I think he has been very explosive recently, and again, if you sell Salah, right, you have a lot of money. So Trent could be another player who has a huge haul potential. In Burnley, and next they are also facing Bournemouth in game week 21 ish, something like that. So again, I think Trent is a good shout too. I just wanted to put it here.
yeah. No, that's a good one. I mean, I'm glad that I went back with this slide. Yeah. All right, let's see the next one. And yeah, here it is again.
uh, Again, I think we just will touch maybe just the Fulham. Again, we just talked
Yeah.
before, right? That Fulham is playing versus Bournemouth in game week 19, and again, Muniz, IOB, some of them, whoever you get, right? Again, it's very short term, just for 2 game weeks, but they have a good matchup.
I like the Muniz shout, to be honest. I really
Yeah,
do. And I think it's pretty interesting, and he might do very well against
yeah,
Burnley as well as Bournemouth. But yeah, not sure if everybody, or at least the FPL Twitter community, is talking about it. But yeah, it's
yeah.
pretty interesting shout nonetheless. Um, Team of the week?
So yeah, Watkins, I think common between 18 and 19. Jesus, we just talked about him. Solanke, we didn't talk about Solanke, but again, a lot of people were thinking that if the Solanke boat has sold, but I think he's a good buy. Even game week 18 also, we didn't talk about him in game week 18, but they are playing versus Nottingham Forest, I believe, in game week 18, and in 19 they are playing versus, I think, Bournemouth playing 19 is Fulham home. Okay,
Fulham.
so yeah, I think Solanke, yeah, Fulham at home. So and at home Bournemouth is good. So and also in longer term also Solanke could be a good pick. So I think Solanke there's Sterling or Palmer. Oh, Palmer is there too. So yeah, Sterling. It's a good matchup. I think they are playing Wolves. I think right. Game week 19, I believe. So yeah, or Palace actually Palace. So yeah, I think this is good. Mitoma or Adingra. We just talked about Brighton already. Salah is there. Burnley, I think he's a captaincy shout by the way in that game
Mm,
week, especially if you don't have Haaland. Simicas, we didn't talk Simicas much. I'm not sure if he's a buy, but again, he's a hold if you have him, right? So and Zinchenko. So any of the Arsenal defender that you have, lovely run of fixture from game week 19 onwards. Okay, so I think Zinchenko, he's a bonus magnet whenever he plays. So good shout. And Trippier, we just talked about him. So
right.
that's it, I guess.
Yeah, and that's it actually. And I think that covers it. Thank you so much, FPL Wrangler, for joining me today and, of course, discussing through Gaming 18 and 19. And I think there are a couple of interesting picks and, of course, some great shouts. So thank you so much for doing that. And, of course, thank you, audience, for watching. And thank you so much for all your love on Twitter. And, of course, keep supporting, keep sharing. And please do help us to grow. We will be continuously producing. But until then, we don't see you before the new year. We would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone and enjoy the festive season. But until then, we'll be back in Gimmick 20, which is again, I think, in the 1st of January or the 2nd of January. But until then, take care. All the very best. Good luck. Bye bye.
Bye.